We've all been there, right? Where one little comment, one small thing just completely derails your entire day. Well, what if I told you there's a way to get real, actual control over that reaction? Let's dive in. So, to kick things off, I want to pose a question that might honestly change how you think about anger forever. What if that feeling, that intense, all consuming, day ruining anger, was actually meant to last for less than 2 minutes? Yep, 90 seconds. It sounds crazy, I know, but that's it. That is the entire natural, biological lifespan of an emotional response happening inside your body. So here's the deal, scientifically speaking. When something triggers you, your body gets this flood of stress chemicals, right? But here's the kicker. Neurologically, your body flushes all of that out in just about 90 seconds. So think about that. If you're still fuming 10 minutes later or an hour later, it's not because of the original chemical reaction. It's because you, and we all do this, have decided to stay in that loop. We start telling ourselves a story that keeps the fire burning. I love this analogy because it just clicks. The trigger, the burnt toast, that sets off the alarm. That's your 90-second chemical rush. But staying angry, that's you standing there ignoring the wide open window and just deciding to keep burning more toast. You're just keeping that alarm blaring on purpose. Okay, so if we're the ones burning the toast, why does it feel so much like other people are the ones pushing our buttons? It's a great question. Let's dig into what's really going on with those triggers. You know the phrase, we all say it, right? Ugh, they just know how to push my buttons. But we've got to make a really important shift in how we think about this. The myth we live by is that we're some kind of helpless remote control and other people have the buttons. But the truth? Nobody installs your buttons. They just show you where they are. They reveal the ones that are already there. You're the operator here, not the remote. And man, this is such a powerful way to look at it. Think about that person, the one, who just drives you up a wall. What if they're not your enemy? What if they're actually your guide? They're basically holding up a big, bright spotlight and pointing it directly at the parts of you that need a little attention, a little healing. It's like they're handing you a personalized roadmap for your own growth. So what's that button actually connected to? Well, here's the thing. A lot of the time, it's not even anger. It's helpful to think of anger as like an emotional security guard. Big, loud, looks tough. And it rushes to the front line to protect something much, much more delicate hiding behind it. And what's it protecting? Well, usually it's one of these guys. Think about it. When someone forgets something important, that explosion of anger you feel, it's probably a cover. It's a cover for the deep hurt of feeling forgotten, or maybe the fear of being devalued. Because let's be honest, anger feels a whole lot safer and more powerful than admitting, hey, that really hurt my feeling. Okay, so just understanding that is a huge first step. But now let's talk about the exact moment where change becomes possible. This, right here, is where you find your superpower. All right, check this out. It happens in 3 steps. First, you get the trigger. Something happens. Then your body does its thing, that 90-second chemical rush. But, and this is so important, right in between that initial spark and you launching into the story that keeps it all going, there's a space, a tiny little gap. We're calling it the choice point. And recognizing that little gap, well, that's the key to everything. And this isn't some new age idea. It was articulated so powerfully by Viktor Frankl. I mean, this is a man who figured this out in the most horrific circumstances imaginable. In a concentration camp, he realized that they could take everything from him, but the one thing they could never touch was that space, his freedom to choose how he responded. That space, that is freedom. And seriously, this isn't some complicated psychological trick you have to learn. It's a superpower you literally already have inside you. Just learning to pause in that space, even for a split second, is the difference between being a pinball, just bouncing around reacting to everything, and being the one actually playing the game. Okay, theory is great. But how do we actually do this? How do we find that space and use it? Let's get into the practical stuff, the tools you can start using, like, today. All right, tool number 1 is called activating your observer self. Think of it like this. There's a part of you deep down that's always calm, always just watching. It's the part that can notice, oh, okay, I'm feeling anger right now, instead of just becoming the anger. The analogy is perfect. The storm clouds are your feelings, but you're the sky. You're the vast space they just pass through. And here's the step-by-step for how to do it. It's super simple. The second you feel that trigger, just pause. Take a mental step back and just narrate what's going on inside. Okay, I'm noticing my heart is beating faster. I notice my jaw is tight. You're not judging it, you're just observing it. And that act of observing, bam, that's what creates the space. And from that calmer place, you can actually choose your next move. Okay, the next tool is a big one. It's a powerful mental reframe. And it starts with this question. What if those difficult people in your life, what if they aren't obstacles at all? Just look at this shift in thinking. The old way, difficult people are obstacles to my peace. The new, much more powerful way, difficult people are my personal trainers for emotional fitness. That boss who's always on your case, he's not just persecuting you, he's giving you a free daily workout for your resilience muscle. And let's be clear, this isn't about being a doormat. It's about using every single interaction to make yourself stronger. So, when you start putting these tools together, when you combine them, something pretty profound starts to happen. You realize you can actually offer your own experience. You can literally create a whole new emotional reality for yourself. And if there's one thing to take away, it's this. You are not experiencing reality. You're experiencing your story about reality. That short, blunt email from your boss, that's not reality. It's just a bunch of words on a screen. The real reality is the story you tell yourself. Story number 1, he thinks I'm an idiot. The result, you feel awful. Story number 2, wow, he must be really busy today. The result, you just move on. Same email, totally different stories, completely different realities. So let's wrap it all up. Your path to emotional freedom is right here. First, remember that 90-second rule. Then, start seeing those triggers as helpful guides, not attacks. That's going to help you find your power in that little space, the choice point. And in that space, you just practice observing your emotions. And finally, you reframe all those challenges as your own personal training. Look, nobody expects you to become a Zen master overnight. This is all about practice, not perfection. So just pick one thing, seriously, just one. Maybe this week, every time you feel that spark, you just try to activate your observer self. Just say in your head, okay, I'm noticing anger. That's it. That's the whole exercise. These tiny, consistent changes are what actually rewire your brain and create a new, calmer you. And I'll leave you with this final question to really think about. Who will you be when difficult people just don't have that power over you anymore, when they can't ruin your day? What kind of energy would you have for the things that really matter? What could you accomplish? Because that version of you is totally possible, and they're just waiting for you to get started.